Hello, guys. Welcome back. Uh, Nihal is playing in the Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid Chess Cup 2021. That is the name of the tournament. And like the Tata style, it starts with a rapid portion and then it goes into the blitz one. So there are like three games today, three games tomorrow, and three games day after. Total of 9 rounds in the rapid. It's going to be one player from one country, and this is the field. Let me just bring it up in a short while. Uh, Give me a second for me. So this was a very quick and impromptu stream because I had something else planned a bit earlier. And hang on. Yeah, here we have Nihal's game. I had something else planned a bit earlier and it didn't pan out. If you see here, let me make it nicer. So Nihal is playing in the third round against Georg Meyer from Germany. He has one and a half out of two. In the first round, he defeated Grandmaster Luke Van Willy from Netherlands. And in the second round, he drew against Gabriel Sargisian from Armenia. So this is the third round against Georg Meyer. And let me just tell you a bit about the tournament first before we move into. Nice try, Ramdas, but I'm not an obvious noob, unlike some of the other streamers that you might be watching from time to time. So, yeah, this is the pairings, and oh, hang on. I didn't see the I didn't see the standings here on chess.com/live. Okay, no worries. No worries, we'll have that covered. Why is there no standings here? This is so. Okay, so never mind. Let me just delete this thing off. And yeah, this is the. Okay. Ishan, are you still in Katie's team? I thought after that when things might have changed. At least I was hoping that she would have seen your true colors and managed to recover, but apparently not. Okay, just give me a moment. Let me bring up the standings from another place, which will likely make Vansh happy. Meanwhile, what? Only the first four moves are over? What's going on? Surely his opponent is not thinking for 3 minutes. Maybe it was not a bad idea to not start with this. Yeah, from another place. You guys are too smart. You understand everything without me even having to go into it. Okay, so this is fun. We get the best of both the worlds. Yeah, the Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid Chess Cup. 24 players, average rating of 25.47. As you can see, Santos Ruiz leading along with Jumabayev and Nihal. Three of them with one and a half out of two. Then there is Ivanisevic, who is also a very strong grandmaster. Fedosiv, oh my god, the standings is also not updated. Some of them have two games, some of them have one game. This is such amazing broadcast. Why did I start doing this? I really should have thought this out. Okay, so this is the playing field, guys. We don't have the standings. Santos Ruiz, Jumavev, Nihal, Ivani Sevic, Fedosiv, Fridman, Zanze Abdulmalik, Parham Maksudlu. You all know who these players are. Alan Pichot, he once played in the Champion Chess Tour. Georg Mayer, Sargisian, Gabriel, Kovalev, Erdos Victor. He's a strong grandmaster from Hungary. You see, there is one grandmaster precisely from each country. Oh, Sente, welcome to Nights. Thank you so much. Now I won't feel. I mean, of course, I'm not equating you to Ishan in any universe, any multiverse, but I'm happy to see that the quality of my members has grown so much, and with Ishan's absence, it's set to grow more and more. So, yeah, the standings has been updated. I think they heard me in Dubai. I think they heard me. They were like, who's this guy's trash talking? We better at least get the broadcast up to some basic standards. So, wow, thank you so much, Arno. Uh, Fedosey was leading with 2 out of 2. Sargisian 1.5. Gyogmaya 1.5. We have the standings also. There's one grandmaster from one country. All of them rated about 2600 in classical chess. All of these 24 players, with a few exceptions. Actually, the minimum entry required for this tournament was about 2600 in classical chess, which is why I myself did not apply. But it seems like it's not it's not totally applied. It's not applied for everyone, and understandably so. I have to see um, Fedusev's second round game. Okay, let's have a look at that because anyway, there's no movement in this game so far. And also, give me a second to just post this story on Instagram before we move any more. Yes, Ishan, no one cares which team you're in. Wow, that was like 10 moves at once. It happened tatak. And here we are, the London system, the London opening, one of Nihal's go-to openings. Nihal goes to London systems like how South Indian people reach out to Rise, it's their default setting. And of course, people experiment, people vary, but they have their own comfort food. And this is Nihal's comfort opening. So knight bd2, knight h5, immediately going after this bishop. Not a very popular, well-known system for black. Uh, Bishop g3, d6, e4. White gets the center, but black manages to get one of the bishops. C3, b6, a4. So whenever this is an instructive moment, when white plays a move like a4 to try and get a5, black's response is not to go 2 steps a5 and try to prevent white from doing this, but black goes 1 step forward. So the point is, if white goes a5, then black goes b5. And if white, for example, in the future comes with b4 and b5, then black goes a5. So it's a bit like, you face someone that you don't really want to hang out with, right? And that person is like, they want to go, they give you two choices, either to go to the movies or the restaurant, and you don't want to hang out with them. So you let them make their choice first, and then you're like, oh no, I'm going to the restaurant. So see, you have fun in the movies. Same way, you keep these pawns like this on a6 and b6, and when white goes a5, then black goes b5. When white goes b5, black goes a5. This is how you avoid people that you don't want to hang out with. S- Yeah. So this is the reason why black plays a6, bishop d3, bishop b7, short castle, rook e1. Black doesn't hurry to take this g3 bishop. He knows that he can take it at his will, so he just waits for it and goes g6. So far, this is a nice pawn structure for black. Yeah, it feels. I don't know if you guys see it, but a similar pawn structure. It's known as the hippopotamus setup in chess. And I don't know how this resembles a hippopotamus though. I don't quite see it myself. Yeah, it's a rapid event. It's 15 plus 10. And the first portion is rapid, and then there's a blitz tournament. Okay, although intention was to watch Nihal's games, it's really frustrating this broadcast that there is no movement of uh, there's no movement of the games in any of the platforms. The root, the original broadcast, it's not great, and this happens typically in tournaments in Dubai. The first round, it's always a bit. They're always a bit slow to get it right. It's a bit like AD's OBS skills. It takes time for them to get it smooth. There is always boomer moments in these tournaments in Dubai, which is surprising because you'd think they're the one of the most affluent countries in the world. You would think you can get anything done in Dubai. They can hire the best experts. They can afford the best infrastructure. But first day, they always get it. Exception, the FIDE World Championship. But then that's not handled by them exactly. So, again, for people who are just tuning in, this is the Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid Chess Cup 2021. It's a 24-player event. It's not exactly an invitation only, but it's an elite event. Uh, the entry was restricted to players rated above 2600, such that I was too intimidated even to think of writing to them or applying. And the unique feature about this tournament, they have only one player from one country. So Nihal is that one player from India. He's that one here for the organizers. And you see, from Russia, it's Ferosev. From Armenia, it's Sargsyan. I don't quite recognize the flag of Georg Meyer. Is it Cyprus? Am I pronouncing it right? I'll let chat decide the verdict on that. And then from Kazakh, where the World Rapid and Blitz tournament is going to be held very shortly during the Christmas and the New Year. We chess players have our own weird way of celebrating things, by just playing chess. And Jumabayev is from Kazakhstan. Wait, then Zanza is also from Kazakhstan. Okay, so that's funny. It's not even like it's one player from one country. That is also not totally followed. The 2600 restriction is also not totally followed. But these were the things that were written in the regulations. So, reading the rule book, it has its advantages, but it also has its disadvantages. Because if you didn't read the rule book and then you just went out there and then someone opts out at the last moment and you have to replace them, then you would have been in the tournament. I mean, I would have been in the tournament. But I read the rule book and I thought, okay, no point. I cannot play here. And some people lose by not reading the rule book. Some people lose by reading the rule book. Okay, let me try to get this on my story while not stopping talking. Let's see if I'm able to multitask to that extent. If I have improved anything in my streaming journey so far. By the way, guys, what's the talk around your place about the new variant? Do you think there might be a lockdown? Do you think there's not going to be a lockdown? Uh, what do you think? Okay, I got I got some semblance of a story out, even though it cuts half my face, but I don't really expect that's the main attraction of the stream. And yeah, here we are, and another set of tuck tuck happening whilst I'm away. Ishan seems to be super enthusiastic about a lockdown. Ah, for women it's 2450. Yeah, cool. Okay, done. Instagram story done. Of course, I don't have to actually put out an Instagram story, because it's not like a whole lot of people are just going to come from Instagram and join the stream. But then my point is like, why did I work so hard to get 10,000 followers if I can't even do a swipe up link? That was the whole point. I was begging and pleading and screaming to try and get to 10,000. So, uh, yeah, it's like I don't want it to be a sunk cost. And Shika is like speaking the truth a lot, frankly. Okay, cool. So what's happening in this game? Since we don't have KT and AD to distract me like they always do, uh, knight c4, knight into g3, h into g3, bishop g7. Are all matches going to be played today? No, all matches are not going to be played today. It's 3 rounds per day. This is the third round, and Nihal Sarin. So we have the best of both the worlds today. The standings is from Chess24. The board is from Chess.com, and you can see. Wait, let me make this a bit bigger. So actually, I didn't have to do that. Nihal defeated Luke manually in the first round. He drew against Gabriel Sargisian in the second round. He has 1.5 out of 2, and here we are. And it's kind of pointless to see this game, I think. So we might as well do a recap of the first two games. Yeah, this game is it's not a live broadcast. It's more like correspondence chess. It's like Nihal and Georg are sending letters to each other, and that letter is being printed in the next day newspaper. That's the standard of broadcast here. So let's get back to this when it actually has a live broadcast rather than a 1960s style of broadcast. That's how apparently things were back in the day. And let's just have a quick look at what happened in the first two games. So Nihal also played London in the first round, and Bishop f4 g6. This is possible. It's a kind of a King's Indian kind of setup, but the drawback is when you play g6, it's better not to commit d5. In my opinion, it's better to have the option of having the pawn on either d5 or d6, so that black can keep his pawn structure flexible. With the pawn on d6, he can go knight bd7 c5. He can go knight bd7 e5. Pawns do not move back, so any pawn move we make is a very committal thing. It cannot even be moved back by a legal process or something. So once it's done, it cannot be undone. And not a great mistake by itself, but yeah, I would have preferred to keep the pawn on d6. But this setup is also extremely normal for white. The London system: d4, bishop f4, and then one pawn goes to e3, the other pawn goes to c3, knight to f3, and this pawn to h3, so that this bishop has the h2 square. This is a very easy setup to play, a very nice setup. And b6, knight b d2, c5, bishop e2, and You see, this wide setup is very compact and very simple to play. So London system is also something nice that anyone can pick up and play. Bishop b7, castle, knight c6, all normal moves. And now, having completed his development, Nihal makes an improving move with knight e5. Knight d7, takes, knight f3, controlling the e5 square. e6, protecting the d5 pawn, keeping things stable. Queen b3, queen e7, and now rook f d1. Uh, in general, white is preparing for a c4 break, but he will start with d into c5 and then play c4. So he's slowly making moves which gradually, incrementally takes more control of the position. Rook f d1, c4, queen c2, b5, and now black is really gaining some space on the queen side, trying to get some more control. So white stops black on his track. He goes b3 with the idea of a4, and now it's under white's control. The queen side is under white's control. If black moves anything on the queen side, he creates a weakness. If he takes on b3, then the b5 pawn becomes weak. If he moves the b pawn, then the c pawn becomes weak. So this whole thing has turned out to be in white's favor, and in hindsight, probably the c4 was not a wise move by Luke. It was a strategic mistake. c4, queen c2, b5, b3, rook f c8, and now queen b2. Just taking the queen away from any scene to b3 and preparing a4, a5, and now he takes and goes a4, fixing things favorably on the queen side. The b file has been opened up. Bishop a6, rook a b1, sorry, queen c2, h6, rook a b1, f5. You see, one of the important factors in this position, white has control of this b file because black cannot get his rooks to b8. This bishop on f4 controls b8 square. So white can play rook a b1, put his rook on b6, get the other rook to b1. Black cannot do the same thing, and this basically throws the game into white's favor. Apologies. So h6, rook a b1, and here black is trying to kick up a pawn storm on the king side, but it's never really going to get started. It's only going to weaken black's king side. So rook b6, queen b2, taking over the b file. The other rook to b1. Nihal loves playing strategically like this. He loves taking control of his position. He loves to gradually convert his advantage. The Hikaru Anish match starts at 11:30. So knight e5, bishop e5, takes, rook c7, and now queen e3. Queen penetrates onto the dark squares in black's camp. And look at this bishop. Look how it's impeded by its own pawns and doesn't really allow the bishop to get anywhere. And all these weak pawns. The black's position is left wide open to being I'm finding it hard to find words that don't have double meanings. But black's position is left wide open to be. You guys complete that. You have the picture. So rook b8, king g7, bishop h5, and now it's white to play and win. Now is the question for the chat. How do you finish? How did Nihal finish in this game? And what's the best way to convert this into a win to finish it off? Let's see if you guys are able to figure this out. First of all, let's see if you guys are even paying attention to the chessboard on the stream. And secondly, let's see if you're able to figure this out. Okay, there's always one or two people who do pay attention to chess. It's a small percentage out of the stream. That's like 1%, 2%. Guys, meanwhile, do hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We have like 277 watching and only 176 likes. I just went to the YouTube studio screen. And well done, Rachit, first of all. He was very fast. Divyanshu, Saurav, Jay Singh, Naman, Cosmic Universe, Arvind Iyer, and Puki. Yes, I'm also a big fan of Shrishti, Swapnil, and all the rest. So it's not a subscription only stream, it's a subscription only chat. There's a difference. Yeah, rook into c7, rook into c6 is correct. Queen into a3, and now after rook c into c8, Luke manually resigned because there is no way to prevent white from checkmating. Rook g8, king h7, rook h8, king g7, and rook b g8 checkmate, because this bishop on h5 is covering the f7 square. The pawn on e5 is covering the f6 square, so the king has no way out. The king is boxed into a corner, and it's checkmate by force. So this is how Nihal won the first game. The current game which is going on, there is no movement there. I just checked. It's basically where we left it. It's almost as if Nihal is waiting for me to uh, complete the review, and then he's a polite guy. So the second game was against Gabriel Sargisian, and it started with one d4. That's what respectable grandmasters start with. The top players, the good players, they start with one d4, and it's known as the best by test, because uh, for years, it has been the best and it has been extensively tested. So yeah, note attack this time. D4, D5, C4, E6. Vidit is in the chat, really? I didn't see Vidit. Okay, it's because I have top chat. But how is it possible that is it the real Vidit, the OG greedy VD? Kapil, come on. These people are not going to know. I can say whatever I want. D4 is the best by test. Shh. Don't make me time you out, Kapil. Yeah, so D4. Oh, was it because I showed the maiden one? Is that why Vidit's name came in the chat? Okay. Knight f6, knight c3. This is one of the classical positions in 1d4. One of the. Wow, Vidit is actually in the chat. Wait, how did you know that he was watching my stream? Was he showing it on the stream? Or and Vidit, who's my favorite? What? My favorite student, my favorite person, my favorite comedian, my favorite what? Favorite person from the chat. Okay, that's a difficult one. It's Anshika. Anshika is my favorite person from the chat. And from the bottom, like if we had to reverse it and take the favorite from the bottom, that would be Ishan. Second favorite. Second favorite, that might be you with it. I'll give you that one. Since you're also part of the chat, and you are there. I mean, of course, I cannot ignore you. So, and you have been a good friend for several years. I don't count. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Let me see. Let me see who are all there in the chat. So Ishan and Vansh, they would start from the bottom. uh, it's a bit of a battle between the number one and number two between them. It keeps changing, but they're pretty much established in the top two. And start from the bottom as in least favorite with it. Third favorite. I guess third favorite would be shared between Shrishti and uh, Sanya. And we'll just leave it at that. Yeah, let's not go further down the list. Okay, so getting back to the game, after knight c3, Nihal played c5. And what is the name of this opening? What is it called? So this position after knight c3, my flow has been completely ruined, but let's try to get it back. This is one of the most popular positions that can arise after 1 d4. It comes from different move orders. Here, of course, it's clearly the second best move because in recent times, g3 has been taken over as the first best move in this position and the best ever opening, as attested by the world champion himself. Uh, and yeah, knight c3 is the second best move in recent times. But after knight c3 c5, what is this opening called? A lot of you have the right answers. Yes, Surya is doing a course on this. It is basically it's Tarash. The system is Tarash, but this is also what Vidit plays, by the way. After c into d5, Vidit takes c into d4 in recent times, and what Nihal took e into d5. This is if black takes knight into d5 here, this is semi-Tarash. But with e into d5, it reaches a proper Tarash structure where black gets an isolated queen pawn because white takes d into c5. But on the other hand, black gets a lot of activity. And in recent times, this has been something Nihal has been playing a bit. So e d5, bishop g5, bishop e6, g3. White prefers to develop the bishop to g2, so that there's pressure on d5. Knight c6, bishop g2, h6. The bishop gets traded now. Bishop into f6, queen into f6, and after d into c5, there is just bishop into c5, and after knight into d5, usually there is some queen into b2. So in this specific instance, black can just take and then play bishop b4 check, spoiling the white king's castle and keeping the pressure. But usually, when both sides have castle, knight into d5 can be met by queen into b2 in different ways. So knight d5, bishop d5, queen. Sorry, in the game itself, short castle happened, cd, and knight b5. This looks like a bit of trouble for Nihal. Let's see how he continued. He prevented the obvious threat with rook c8, rook c1, bishop e7. By the way, how did you guys know that Vidit was watching? How was he watching it on stream or what? Do let me know. And knight b d4, short castle. So here is an interesting decision for white. White can either you know take on e6 and get into this pawn structure, which is what happened in the game, or he can keep things steady for a while. Let's say play something like e3, protect d4, and just keep things in balance for now, maintain status quo. He went knight into e6. This is usually a good decision because this pawn structure is undesirable for black, and white white usually manages to create some pressure. But queen b3 might have been a bit of an inaccuracy because it allowed Nihal to play this knight d4, trade one of the pieces, helping him in defense. It's a very simple thing. If all the pieces get traded, then it eventually ends in a draw by insufficient material. So the more pieces that get exchanged, the better it is for the defensive side. in these kind of strategically worse positions. Very general thing, not applies does not apply in all situations. So terms and conditions applied. It comes with an asterisk, but yeah. Knight d4, queen e3, knight into f3 check, bishop into f3, and Nihal, he has this irresistible, nasty urge to just touch this b pawn and move it by one square. But here it made sense because he was defending the a7 pawn, so he played b6, and he also gets his bishop onto c5, which is actually an improvement for the bishop. Bishop c5, he puts the bishop on d4. See how nicely he plays with his pieces, yeah? With each move, he improves it. He makes it a bit better than the previous position. Fisher used to remark this about Petrosian, how, in any situation, he would manage to improve it a bit. And for those who don't know Petrosian, he was a former world champion from Armenia. He was one of the legendary players. I'm not talking about the grandmaster who infamously had his account um, closed due to fair play violation for the Pro Chess League. That's a different Tigran Petrosian. I'm talking about the legend 50, 60 years ago, who defeated. Wait, who did he defeat? He defeated Botvinnik to become the world champion. Yeah, he was also known as Iron Tigran. So Fisher used to remark about that. But now all these kids, they also have this ability. It's like, they were born by standing on the shoulders of these legends. And Ishan has an answer from Google. If only he also studied their chess moves, and not just the words. So far, White has been playing all the good moves. White is still slightly better because, bad pawn structure. That is Sargisian. Nihal takes the pawn, greedy VD style. We all follow the people we look up to and admire, those in front of us. So Queen C8 check, King F7, A4, and now uh, Black is a pawn up, but he's under pressure. Bishop D4, King G2, A5. So Nihal decides to, fortify this pawn. It cannot be attacked because it is protected by the B6 pawn, and the B6 pawn is protected by the D4 knight. So a chain of protection. Oh, there's Mikasa in the chat. I would have named Mikasa as the second favorite if she was there, hands down. So a5, queen d7 check, king f8. This is pressure, but it feels like Nihal is completely safe here already because although white's pieces are well placed, black is suffering from a bit of lack of space. It um, it also black also does not have any weaknesses. So because of this, it's hard for white to get going. D4, bishop into e6, d into e3, and there's no checkmate. So Nihal sees this concretely, and here they decide to do the most famous result, the most uh, probable result in a chess game, a draw. So this ended in a draw, and this is 1.5 out of 2 for Nihal. And there we have another tatak. So this game has gone quite a bit forward. Let's see how it has evolved from where we left it. Rook a1. So Nihal has very good pressure in the center. He has superior space. So what would you play here, chat? What move do you make here if you are white? It's not a tactical move. It's a more of a strategic move. But what has white been leading up to all this time? Vidit just sent a funny emoticon on WhatsApp, and I just saw that. Ishan wrong as usual. Oh my god. The chat has been so contaminated. Um, super contaminated chat. So hard. Rajit Mundra has the right answer. Uh, Kushan Setia, sorry, Kushan. I don't know. I don't know if your surname whether I pronounce it right. Then Chesdi Darpan Bhattacharya, uh, Chidambar Karthikeyan, Girish CB, Vaibhav Gupta, Ayushman Devanjan, and Dhairya Kumar, etc. E5. White makes use of his extra space to open up things. If the center gets opened up, his pieces are better placed to take advantage of it. So imagine like there are two forces fighting for one battleground, like how we have in Counter Strike. Like let's say there's a bomb site, and there are a lot of obstacles in between, and one side is better placed to they're better placed to shoot, and the other side is not so well placed, they don't have as many spots. So when those obstacles are removed, the side which is better placed is obviously going to shoot better. Same way here, white spaces are well placed, but there are obstacles, there are pawns in the center. If that gets cleared, then it's going to favor white. So black understandably does not react, and he does not reject the offer to open up things as well, because between acceptance and rejection there is something in between, and that is what black does. And really, in chess 24 a different game is being shown. That's funny. Is Nihal doing a simultaneous? Hey, what nonsense, this is the Nihal game only. Yeah, so between acceptance and rejection there's an in between point, and that's what black does here. He goes queen e7, keeps his cards open, he'll decide later. Good strategy. Queen e3, rook f d8, and takes queen f4, exerting pressure on these pawns. But black has adequate resources. First of all, he can play d5, but before before playing d5, what move would you like to insert before playing d5? What is the drawback of playing d5? The drawback of d5 is that it will hinder this bishop on b7. It will subject that bishop to living behind the d5 pawn. It will become a lockdown for the b7 bishop. Now, in general, some people might argue that bishops on the b file doesn't really deserve a lot of sympathy. They deserve that fate. Yes, Rajat, exactly. But yeah, you go bishop into f3, uh, queen into f3, and now play d5. So this is what Meyer did, and this is a good move. So Nihal goes back, and black has neutralized white's initiative completely. He has ex- 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 extinguished white's fire, and the position is completely equal here. But now Nihal starts to whip up some initiative on the king side, and h file is the only thing that is open. So first he takes the rook to h3. Next he plays g3. No, first queen e2 to attack this pawn, to provoke this, and then g3. This is actually very useful and important, because if you start with g3, um, it's also possible to start with g3 with king g2 rook h1. But having this queen e2 a5, this is in white's favor, just because Stockfish says so, and I cannot come up with a rational explanation in time. So let's move on. King g2, king g8. Because bishop g5, there is some f4, yeah? Yeah, bishop g5, f4. This is the problem. And if black takes rook into h3, then what does white do now? How do you recapture? Which do you recapture and how? Okay, also, Vidit is not a boomer with the World Rapid application. It's just that we have different banks, and my bank is a my bank has a very smooth process. So, uh, yeah. Exactly. Take the bishop. Swapnil, Nikita, Chesty again, Om Gupta, uh, and of course Ishan would go b3 here also. Crazy. Uh, Etc. etc. So f into g5 is the right move. This was the problem. If black had this bishop g5, he's solving all his problems. He's trading everything on the h5. It doesn't work concretely because of this problem, and this is the cause of whatever pressure that black is under. So he goes king g8, but this only allows the trade of one of the rooks, and he would ideally like to have gotten rid of both the rooks. So we are at this position where Nihal is exerting pressure, his opponent Georg Meyer is defending. And once again, there's no live broadcast going on because the moves are not getting updated real time. It's more like, Nihal is writing a letter to Meyer. Meyer is replying with a letter. He gives it to a pigeon. The pigeon carries it to Nihal, and then the people in Dubai take it and print it in a newspaper the next day. That's how delayed the transmission is. We are getting moves like several minutes after it happened, or maybe even the game is over by now. Uh, we can't really determine. But it allowed us to go through all three games of Nihal for the day today, and let's stick with this game until the end of this, and then I wanted to play some blitz games, because two things. One is I wanted to try and get in some practice before the World Blitz. Not sure how much practice I can get playing on stream against noobs, but uh, it will. I thought it's still a useful. It's still a useful practice. It's better to have some practice than no practice. And yeah, I just wanted to go and play some games today, see how it goes casually. Tomorrow there's Title Tuesday, day after there's the Arena Kings, and today I thought I'll just play some Blitz games, beat up some people, flex a bit, show off, and then end the stream. And yeah, let's just. I don't know. I don't know if we should stick around this game or let's go play some games and then get back to this. What do you What do you guys think? I don't want to hang around for too long either because I don't want to stay up for too long. It's already a bit late, 10:40 something, and it would be nice to be able to have some time at night and then sleep at a sane time and get some rest. So yeah, let's start out with some blitz games. Let's not. Chesdy, a tournament will take too much time. Not today. Maybe some other time. But today, I mean, my reply to you on that suggestion would be what people say to the Lord of Death. Not today. So let's go to the chess.com. And yeah, here, let's just find someone to beat up for funs. So one of my ideas was to just come and play some 10 random blitz games, and my rating is a pathetic 2708. It's a ridiculously low rating. So I'm going to get some not so strong players, and maybe we can do this thing. Stream ends after my first non-victory. So classical developers on the board. This is the Marshall, which was also recently played by the world champion Magnus Carlsen, who is expected to be the world champion for another 2 years. This has gone into the main lines though, quite unexpectedly. People generally don't play the main lines. I already don't remember what I should do here. Should I go to H5 or I'll go H5. Who cares what the theory is? It's a 3 minute game. Ultimately, it comes down to flagging. Sente has understood me in a super short time. Yes, it is going to be a short stream. Queen had 6, there is bishop to g5. My opponent is playing nice. He's playing good. Unexpectedly for a 2600. And I regret my opening choice. Now this bishop is just imprisoned on h3. The kind of fate that ideally Ishan deserves, but it's happened to my bishop instead. Rook e2. Let's just go for it. f5, f4. Now should I just take this and this? And maybe I go queen f7 next. Not sure if he has stayed in control of things. Okay, so fg, hg. How about rook f3 now? But the thing is, I don't see how I can break through after I get there. Like I can get until that point, but then what is the question? Let's just go rook f3. Have a look. Knight. No, that wasn't working. I would love to get bishop into g3. I can't, but I can take this first and then get bishop g3. See, most of his pieces are not playing, so that is where. Oh, he has bishop into f3. Okay, this was trials. This doesn't count. The count starts after next game. My first non-win, then the stream ends. Okay. This is not going to be even a draw. Okay, I think I should resign this one. Oh, Nihal drew, is it? Great. Oh my god, this is disgraceful. I'm below 2700. It's normal, no? It's expected. First game is trials only. What is so unusual about this? It's always trials. I didn't think I would have to specify that. Okay, good standard setup. Now we trade everything. Played b3 on the fourth move, Sente, not on the first move. There's a lot of difference. Bishop into a3, there is rook a1. So that's not going to happen for some time. Queen f5, we go queen c3. Knight e. Oh, okay. Can I go d5 here? It's possible, but yeah, I don't like this queen on h3. I don't think I should have allowed this. But now that it's there, let's just wait and ask him, what are you going to do? Okay, knight g4. Now I cannot move this knight. If I go d5, he goes e5, is it? But I'm not sure because he cannot bring in any further attacks. d5, e5, I just go c5 and then put my pawn on d6. This is strategically very nice for me. Then after bishop f6, I go queen c4. So only thing is I need to ensure that this knight on f3 is always well protected. Yes, this is what I was expecting. Knight into f2, I can take bishop f6 here. Knight e4, bishop d8. And then there is also, like, I can also take king into f2, bishop b2, and then queen into f7 check. That would be nice and flashy. But do we need to be flashy? We don't really need to be flashy, do we? Um, I think substance over. Okay, it's a stream. It's all about making things look good. So let's just go for it. Wow, he resigned. What a way to finish. After queen into f7 check, most games do end, but that usually happens after the third move. See, at that time, my trial game would be before the tournament game. This is a trial game. It's always trials first ball. These are global standard rules, you know. Even in international cricket, first they take guard, and sometimes they have an actual trial ball, you know. Ishan is talking too much, man. I wish I knew how to. What? Oh, he goes knight g4. Okay, yeah, this is standard stuff, but it's still a slight, still a slightly better position. He takes this. Yeah, takes. Now I can take this, but it ends in an equal position. Can play something like c5. Should I take bishop b7? Takes queen b2. I feel like it's too less. Not like I have much choices anyway. And after rook into c4, maybe rook f c1 to exert pressure on this pawn. Or should I just run with this? I think I can run with this. Run, Forest, run. Rook c2, you have to be careful not to play e3. Rook f2, queen a1 check. It's like the title Tuesday warm up stream that we should have but haven't had yet. Queen b2 check. See, you guys are criticizing me so much for the trial game, you know, but let me tell you what, even the legendary world champion Fisher, when he played his world championship match against Pasky, even he started with a trial game, you know. Even for a world championship match, he started with a trial game. He defaulted the first game, and second game he started with a trial where he blended his bishop. So it's part of a historic tradition, guys. Now he wins this pawn by force. This is so annoying. Axe, don't play like me. That's the best advice I can give you right now. I shouldn't have lost this pawn, man. It's gonna hurt. In all this talk about Fisher, I just forgot that I'm losing a pawn. Sad. At least he's thinking. At least there's some hope to flag. I need to be careful though. Rook into beast. Oh, okay. Uh, what should I do? I cannot take this pawn ever. I can go queen g5 though. But then he just takes this. How are these people playing so well? Takes, queen e5. Potential idea of h6. So is the challenge the stream ends after the first loss or the first non-win? Can we amend it to the first loss? Because draw is a very high probable thing in chess. Just hoping for tricks. Now rook goes to b8. He'll prevent it with rook e6. Queen f6 even simple. But what if I go queen e8 and rook b8? Start with rook b8. Goes to h7 or queen h5, he just has rook h6. Okay, let's just go queen e8 for now. g3 he'll go. I'm not even sure if I can save this game. This is so sad and pathetic. There's no way to save this game. No. I spent 15 seconds on that. Oh man, sigh, sigh, sigh. Should I end the stream then? Or do you get one more chance? Every hard game is a trial game. That's a good one. Good one, good one, good one. Couple. Numerous. You're full of facts. Although sometimes you do get it wrong by one square. This is so not how I expected this part of the stream to go. But okay, let's start from now. Let's go for the good old London system. Just served Nihal so well. Should I take all? I'll start with this. This is the theory, I think. Although London has never been my specialty. Now rook c1. Having the h file open is quite useful actually. Making normal standard developing moves. Cannot get g4. We just get a3 in. No, that would be a blunder. I just don't feel this position so well. I should go b4 and knight to c4 is b5. So I have to take with the rook. Now let's start g4, g5. After b5 there's always rook c6. Knight a5 there's rook a4. And the next move the threat is g5. Basically first two games it was a bit of a display of kindness. And now after knight e5 there's more display of kindness in display by me. I just missed this move completely. I have rook c3, so that's a bit of a saver. I'm just trying to play good chess, Mikasa. That's another. Guys, mate in three, mate in three, mate in three. Wait, let me take this first. Now it's mate in three. Found it? Found it. Alright, let's go. That was a good stream game. A good game for the stream. Thank you, Vanius, for falling right into it. Takes two for such things to come about. Let's also have some music, yeah? This might potentially be feeling a bit dull without the music. Let's have some gaming music. No, I'm just picking something from random. Isn't what for Sente? Oh, I know this guy. Wait, this is that Prodigy, no? Prodigy who was supported by a popular artist who I did not know until I saw that she was supporting him. Tani was supported by who? Who is that? I remember there was a celebrity who was supporting his cause. I don't remember her name. She's an artist. No, not Botes. Botes is also an artist, but I'm talking about someone in the music field, you know. Knight e5. I can always go queen f5. There's bishop d3, queen e6, or I can go all the way back to c8. This shouldn't worry me. Queen h4, there's g3. That should worry me because there's no space for the queen there. Queen f5, bishop d3, queen c8. What do you mean, any suggestions for the Caracal? In Caracal, for Caracal, there's this legendary course by Mr. V.D. Gujarati, and that is all the information you need for 100 lifetimes of playing Caracal. Actually, 2 of it. Yeah, I don't remember who was helping Tani. Let me go back to his Twitter and try and find out. Tani to yeah. Oh, I don't follow him on Twitter. Follow him. Oh, he's played them, huh? Since when? If I take f into e5, he replies f into e5, is it? Yeah, but I don't have to take f into e5. I could just go bishop g4. I spent 38 seconds there. Oh, in the chat he's like, what? You were 3100 before? Wait, let me just quickly show. Yeah, look at this. Look at him. Look at this. Look at this reaction. What? The 3100 before? Yes. Okay, this wins a piece. Thank you. GG. I think the 3100 thing might have just rattled the kid. But learn the politeness and respect people. Look how much respect he gives for the 3100. And look at how Arjun was like in the previous streams. Like, you don't deserve it. These kids, they need to learn some manners. Oh, I think I misplayed this. I should have played Knight. Oh, no. I misplayed this. Hikaru versus Anish, it's very tough for Anish. It's Hikaru all the way. I still can't. So Tani Tolua was, he was retweeted by Maurice, and then there was someone else with 1 million followers or more supporting his cause. And I can't get it out of my mind. Who was it? Take this, he has rook c8, queen b7, rook c7. So annoying. After e5 he has knight d5. So I think this kid would also be playing online all the time, like Nihal and all the others. So probably good for me to try and get in as many wins as I can before he grows up to be a monster like Nihal. I can't take queen c6 here. Let's focus a bit on the position. By no means taken for granted. Let's just make a useful improvement. This kid's really sharp. He's very good at puzzle battle, but needs to, I think, has a lot of room for improvement in strategic chess, I think. So queen b3, c4. This is my next two moves. And then slowly gain territory, slowly gain space, and slowly take over. Yeah, queen b3 now. Date c4. Knight h5, there's always bishop e3, so pawn is not in danger. Now e5 is a threat. I can even go d5. Let's do it. Let's show him some strategy 101. This is always compensation. This exchange sacrifice. Or that's what I think. I hope I'm not horribly wrong. Why it's compensation is because these dark square objects of black are very hard to defend. Kid loves to attack. So direct. Okay, rook e1, there's a rook e8. I go g4, queen h4. I can go g4. Next I'll go g6. And bishop g3. Yeah, this is what I was expecting. d5. Knight f3 check. We need not have a lotus. King f1. It's still under control. Now just go queen b3. Queen A1 or Queen D1. I need to play fast, so let me shut up for some time. Oh, no. This has taken a very bad turn. Very, very bad turn. Okay, happens. It's Queen F3, D4, Bishop C4, and I need to just prevent it with something. Of course, he was going to take Queen into D6. That was a bad pre-move by me. Do you want it to end, Ishan? I thought we decided that every odd game was a trial game. Wasn't it? Wasn't that the final decision we had? I'm honestly a bit annoyed now. Had such a good push in the previous game. No business losing that. Yet here we are. There are important messages. On my chat? Okay, Tiny. It's time to learn some lessons. Be taught. This is a proper crush. He doesn't have any moves. Look, White is struggling in this position. So he goes Bishop E2. I go Knight C7. Short castle and then I go E4. Yeah. Because if I go E4 first, okay. So Knight G5, Queen D5, just to protect us. I want to get E5. Sorry, E4. So he goes Bishop E2 now. Okay. He goes Queen F3. This was his point. E4, D into E4. Okay, just rook D7. Queen into D5, I take C into D4. Knight E4, I think I can ignore it for now. Knight C7. Now maybe I can take this. Take Queen C5. Depends how he takes back. He takes with the Queen. This was slightly unexpected, but okay. Queen C5 never plus. Around 95, Knight F6, next 2 moves. Knight D5. Chacha has given a bad name to all other Ishans actually. I don't really expect any danger from Bishop B4 for now. Anyway, let's just get the Queen back. Sometimes we take one step back and then go 2 steps forward. Okay, just defending this. Bishop into A3 is anyway not a threat. We are in some kind of a deadlock. Yeah. King D8. I'm also just waiting. He is also waiting. Should I take this? That's his trap. Yeah. I want to get C5, B4, C4. Very comfortable, no? just falls right into this. And it's checkmate. So that was a good game. Now we show some proper lessons. Don't ask me why I did that. But okay, this is also not a bad opening per se. This was played by Hari Krishna in one of the online Olympiad games. So by our odd number trial rule, this game is also a trial, right? I do feel like I have a slight edge here. Attacking this pawn. Now putting some serious intense pressure on this pawn. Just protect this. Gain space. Gaining more space. Yeah, it seems like Nihal drew the last round. That's what someone was saying in the chat. This is a weakness waiting to be taken advantage of. Weakness is all around. This is weak, this is weak. Taking rook c6. So rook d8 he wants to take back with the knight, and then I'll come knight c5, bishop e7. Okay, so I'll just take and go rook c4. One of the pawns falls by force. Okay, taking this. And now what do we want to do? I can go knight b8 and then take this pawn with my bishop. If he goes c5, then I'll give knight d7 check and take it. I think I can just take bishop c6. Then he takes bishop into b4. This kid is very sharp tactically. Takes bishop into b4. I go bishop d5. Rook d6. It's not clear. Just wait. Pylon is necessary. Just wait a bit for now. He cannot calculate if it gets tactically defended every move. Now we take it because now there's bishop d4. This typical winning technique 101. Make your opponent anxious. You don't do something direct. Threat is better than execution. Now I can go knight a6. I can go just knight d7. I think knight a6 should be okay. Bishop d5 was also winning there. Bishop d5, rook c8. Having multiple good choices is also not the most comfortable situation. Knight d7 check. Kid fights all the way. Yeah? He's like a typical Indian kid. He plays till the end. He fights till the end. Doesn't give up. Now he's accelerating too. He's clearly not given up. He's fighting. But this is just lost for him. Straightforward. Plays till mate. Cool. More, come on. I think this was supposed to be the theory. Although I didn't remember. See guys, I'm playing for a win. Bishop g4, he just goes queen g3. h4, he attacks this. Not letting this bishop develop. And then I go queen c5. Are you complaining, Ishan? Is your drama mode ever off? Yes, h5 is equal to playing for a win. I myself recently learned it from all the different broadcasts from the World Championship. Regardless of the position, whether you're better or not, if you make the move h5, you're playing for a win. That is the rules of the game. And streaming is so addictive. He is winning one of my pawns. Shan, don't you think it's a bit early for the 2020 rewind? But I need not take back on e4. If I just come like this one. Should have just seen that a bit faster. Can I take this? Or should I just go like this side? I don't want to take it. Yeah, I don't want to take it. So f into e5, knight e5, knight e5, knight e5. No, he's going to take with the knight now. And then in the end, I think I have queen d6. Or queen f6. This is the point. If he takes knight into b5, bishop b2 is also not a bad move. I go bishop d6. Knight f5, I have bishop to f5. Knight to b5, what do I do? Okay, defense. I'm a pawn down, but I think I have good compensation. Queen f2, I have knight d3 check. Yeah. This is what I was kind of expecting. And now we are a queen up. Still tricky, especially against this sharp kid. Queen e3 check is a threat. Yeah, this is what I wanted from him. And now I go queen d6. He saw that. I was expecting it. Just want to open up everything so that his king doesn't have a safe haven. Well, my king does. Why is everyone calling Amrutansh as Amruta? If I take bishop at f5, there's bishop b5 check. So I go queen c5. Now he goes bishop d4, yeah? Bishop d4, queen c6. Knight g7, king f8. He's still a bit slow. Here I was thinking I can just take this, but maybe I'll just... Should I take it? Yeah, I think I'll take it. Rook d8. Okay, loses this. I can take on d4, I can take on f5, but what I can't do is I can't lose on time, so let me not get too cocky. Okay, GG. It's the third win in a row. I was really not intending this to be such a long stream, you know, but it's because he's such a talented kid. That's why I'm playing so many games. To have adoption privileges while I can. He's talented, but he's raw. And we have a nice pawn structure here. I can get this knight onto c4. I can play knight d6 check here, yeah? And I think at the end of all this I'm going to win this pawn. Again, strategy 101. Do e4, knight f6, bishop to b4 check. Do we want to win the pawn so badly, or can we delay it? I'll start with knight d4 because I want to defend this pawn with f3. Okay. So knight d4. Now I can play e4, bishop b4 check, bishop d6, and then f3. Certainly an option. Or let me just keep him guessing where I'm coming, where I might come. Not at all easy for your opponents to understand what you're doing when you're playing like this. Take this first. Now I hit him with it. Well, he doesn't expect. Take the pawn. After f3 everything is defended, we have won the pawn. Knight d6 check. He loses a piece. He resigns. That was a bit of a tilt. That happened quickly. Excellent spirit. A normal Ragozin position. Just scratching my hair. Not because of the position though. Yeah, standard position, standard pawn structure. Nothing to overpower. Hey, no, I wanted this rook. So unfortunate. I wanted to take that rook back and take the other rook. But I think this shouldn't affect things too much. But the other rook, that would have made things unpleasant for her. This, I think it's maybe not too much of a difference, but I think this is a bit easier for her. And now after being to a4, I think I'll just get this Azar. Should do that, yeah. And then takes and F5. It's Amritansh Jha named Amrita on Discord. I don't know the answer to that myself. I like King F7, looks strong. This was his idea. 4F4. This feels so risky for him. Go H5, then he goes King G to King H3 and saves it. Let's go H5. A bit conflicted about playing H5, putting a pawn on the light square, but I will go G6 next. And Bishop F5. This is what he wanted. I should have played 96 one more earlier. Oh, I should have played 96 one more earlier. Now is King reaches there on time.
We could be legend. I have nothing to lose. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. Wake up. I know what's real. Escape reality. Hardwired.
I think this game might be I'm scared of being flat here. I think it's gonna end in a draw. Yeah, it was expected. He breaks that losing streak. And this is the last game, guys.
Entropy. Switch.
I'm not sure if I wanted to get into this stuff, but okay. It's kind of destined that I have to end this stream by crushing B related opening. It was B6, not B3, but kind of, I think, acceptable. No? Chat? Within the same family. I don't know why, but when I see this B move, I just get enraged and then I just want to crush my opponent, even if it's Arjun
And wonder at our place in
and
the
even if it's
stars.
Ultra Bullet.
This is the world you've made yourself. Now you have to live in it.
Okay, so if I take knight d5, knight d5,
The end is in our sights.
and then play queen h5, then can he survive?
Already here.
Would be a fitting end, no? To this B nonsense.
No matter how hard we
Let's
try,
try.
we're doomed.
Pretty sure he'll see queen h5.
Your goodbyes.
What a crush, guys. This is what happens when you play b6 or b3. This is what happens.
Brace yourself. I can see the end inside.
He has bishop e6. I missed that. I missed bishop e6. He's going to find it for sure. I can go c4 and d5, but
Wired.
I'm not even sure. God, this is so embarrassing. This stream is more like an AD stream than my stream. What am I going to do against bishop e6? Will he see it? Won't he see it? Will he see it? Won't he see it? Knight f6, bishop e6, I go c4, knight f6, queen g5. Let's just go for that for now. And play it fast, Hikaru style. I can also take the g7 pawn. c4, queen h8, queen g7. That actually sounds better. Does he see it? Saw it. Finally he saw it. This I did not see again. I can't even go queen h8, queen g7 now. No, the extra time. Says he went to the bathroom and lost 1 minute. Okay, I'll add time for him.
Disconnect.
I'll add 45 seconds. Like, oh, thank you, you're nice. And I'm nice. Let me get rid of this. And I'll keep the chat visible. Okay, now let's focus. Boys so overcome with gratitude because apparently people are generally not so nice on the internet. Oh, he gave me 30 seconds himself. See, this is what being nice does in the world, people. If you're nice, people are nice to you. It comes back to you. So, being nice is a kind of investment. I do hope it's not a cat gambit kind of thing, bathroom gambit, because that would teach the exact wrong thing. Yeah, he was waiting for that. And now he wants queen h6 and queen h1. So I need to try and so well protected here. I go g3, queen h3 check, king g1. Bishop h3, bishop g2, there's queen e8 shoot. f5 is a very strong move. Now I think I have to resign because there's no way to protect the h1 square. It ends with the loss against b6. And I can't even flag him because of my generosity. Being nice also has a way of coming back and biting you. Game was just going so well. Such a big advantage I had. Now there's no counter play also. No way to flag him also. Yeah, okay. GG's. That's the end of today's stream. Ending fittingly with a loss against, well, not quite fittingly. It was completely winning. It should have. I just got a bit unnecessarily fancy with this knight d5, queen h5, you know. Otherwise, I'm just an exchange up. I can play bishop f5 and it's winning. I just missed bishop e6 and even then, he had taken a lot of time. But this question was too bad for me. But yeah, this was a fun stream. This was some fun casual blitz games. And tomorrow I'll see you guys for Title Tuesday. Meanwhile, a quick update on the Nihal's game. The Nihal's tournament. Nihal is playing in the Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid Cup 2021. And he what did he do? He drew the third round, so he has 2 out of 3, and that is my Fedosi is leading with 3 out of 3, Kovale with 2.5, Terdosh, Santo Ruiz, all of them on 2.5, and Nihal is on 2. There's also Parham and there's also Hans Niemann, and then a bunch of strong players with 1.5. A lot of strong players with 1, and we see some players about 2600 even with half out of 3. That's how strong this tournament is. Now this started as a completely casual stream, and then somehow, you know, it was a lot of fun being with you guys. It went into a longer stream than I expected, but a lot of fun and a good warm up for Title Tuesday tomorrow. I hope I don't go on Blender tomorrow in Title Tuesday like I did today. I really need a lot of practice in this blitz actually, online blitz, and I probably need to focus more on chess during the stream part. That's where I need the most practice. So see you guys tomorrow, Title Tuesday, and then I'll also stream Arena Kings, and then let's see how things go. Yeah, I'll stream on Wednesday. What's that on Wednesday though? AD's marriage is also over. All the big events are over. Alright, guys. Thank you so much. And yeah, lovely to be with you guys. See you all. Bye bye. See you tomorrow.